Being a senator in ancient Rome was much more than holding a prestigious position, it was navigating a world where power and danger intertwined at every step. At the heart of the empire, decisions were made not just to govern but to survive. The toga they donned each morning was not just a symbol of status but a constant reminder that every move was observed, every word weighed. On a typical day, these powerful men faced rituals and responsibilities that required much more than simple leadership. There were alliances to maintain, clients to serve, and above all, a delicate loyalty to the emperor that needed careful balance. In a game of power where one wrong choice could mean exile or worse, every moment demanded attention and strategy. Today, we will explore what it truly meant to be a Roman senator, from the morning rituals to the challenges of surviving in an environment where power was both a blessing and a threat. But before we continue, just check if you're already subscribed, because on this channel, I'll bring a series of videos like this one that will help you discover, study, and explore the Roman Empire. Being a senator in the Roman Empire was synonymous with prestige and influence, comparable to being one of the most powerful figures in society. However, this prominent position came with immense responsibilities, making senatorial life a constant mix of glory and pressure. Senators were seen as the guardians of Rome's traditions and laws, and every decision they made could impact not only the city but the entire empire. Despite all the power and respect the position brought, a senator's life was far from easy. They were constantly under public scrutiny, judged for their actions and decisions. The pressure to make the right and popular decisions was immense, as a mistake could not only compromise their reputation but also put their life at risk. The weight of expectations from both the Senate and the people of Rome was constant, and many senators felt overwhelmed by the responsibility they bore. Moreover, political competition within the Senate was fierce. Each senator sought to increase their influence, whether through strategic alliances or subtle political maneuvers. This struggle for power and position within the Senate caused many senators to live in a state of constant tension, always concerned about their next moves and the potential impacts of their decisions. In the end, being a Roman senator meant being at the center of the power and politics of one of the greatest civilizations in history. However, this prestige came at a high price, demanding from the senators not only intelligence and political skill but also great resilience to the stress and pressures that came with the position. For many, senatorial life was a delicate balance between glory and sacrifice, where each day brought new challenges and opportunities. The morning of a Roman senator began solemnly, with rituals reflecting his elevated status in society. Wearing the toga was not just a matter of preparing for the day, it was an act laden with symbolism and power. The toga, with its purple stripe known as laticlave, was a clear sign of his senatorial position, distinguishing him from other Roman citizens. Every fold of the toga was carefully adjusted, reflecting the prestige and dignity the office demanded. In addition to the toga, the brown shoes, known as calcii, and the iron ring, reserved exclusively for senators, were additional symbols of his power. The ring, in particular, was not just an adornment but also a symbol of authority, often used to seal important documents, marking decisions that could shape the future of the empire. These elements together made the senator an imposing and respected figure, reminding all who saw him of his importance in Rome's social and political structure. The act of dressing in the morning was not just a routine but a meticulous preparation for what would be a day full of crucial decisions and interactions. By donning these symbols of power, the senator mentally prepared himself for the challenges he would face, knowing that every choice he made would be observed and evaluated by his peers and the people. These morning rituals were, therefore, more than mere preparations, they were a daily reminder of the responsibility that came with power. The toga, the shoes, and the ring were not just clothes and accessories but emblems of an office that carried the honor of Rome and the fate of many in its hands. With this, the senator transformed into the protagonist of a day that could once again shape the course of an empire. When a Roman senator left his residence, he did not do so discreetly. On the contrary, his departure was a spectacle of power and prestige, projecting his influence and authority with every step he took. Accompanied by his escort, composed of bodyguards known as lictors, the senator moved through the streets of Rome with the aura of a true ruler. The lictors carried fasces, a bundle of rods sometimes including an axe, symbolizing the senator's power to punish and his authority over life and death. This entourage was not just a security measure, it was a public display of his status. The presence of the lictors announced to everyone that this man was someone of great importance, deserving of respect and deference. Furthermore, on special occasions or longer journeys, the senator could opt to travel in a litter, a type of palanquin carried by slaves. From his elevated position in the litter, the senator could observe the city below him, reinforcing the image of a ruler who was literally above others. The litter was more than just a means of transportation, it was a declaration of power and comfort, a way for the senator to stand out in the crowd and be seen as an almost regal figure. His passage through the streets of Rome was accompanied by looks of admiration and sometimes envy, but always of recognition of his superior position. This daily parade of power served to remind ordinary citizens of their place in Rome's social and political hierarchy. This display of status was not merely a matter of vanity, it was an essential part of Roman political theater. By visibly displaying his power, the senator reinforced his position not only in the eyes of the citizens but also of his political rivals. Every gesture, every choice of how to move through the city, was calculated to consolidate his authority and secure his position in a setting where appearance and public perception were as important as the reality of power. In the life of a Roman senator, politics was much more than debates in the Senate and public decisions, it extended to daily interactions with clients, a group of citizens who depended on the senator's support to solve problems and obtain favors. These clients were a crucial part of a senator's network of influence, and the relationship between them was based on the mutual exchange of favors and loyalty. Every morning, before heading to the Senate, the senator received his clients at his home. These men came seeking advice, financial help, or even intervention in legal matters. In return for such favors, they offered their loyalty and support, which could be crucial for the senator in times of elections or important debates in the Senate. This patronage system was one of the ways senators expanded their influence, building a network of allies that helped them consolidate and expand their power. For the senator, the relationship with his clients was like a chess game, where every move had to be carefully calculated. By helping a client, the senator not only gained their loyalty but also increased his own reputation as a man of influence and generosity. This reputation, in turn, attracted more clients and, with them, more power. However, this dynamic also required the senator to carefully manage his promises and resources to ensure he could fulfill his commitments and maintain his support network intact. In the end, Roman politics was as personal as it was public, and a senator's ability to manage his relationships with his clients could be as important as his eloquence in the Senate. This system of exchanges and favors was a fundamental part of the political fabric of Rome, and mastering this art was essential for any senator who wished to thrive in the empire's complex political arena. The Roman Senate was the beating heart of Roman politics, where decisions that shaped the fate of the empire were made. Every day, senators gathered in the Forum, a large public space that served as the center of political and social life in Rome. There, they discussed issues ranging from the creation of new laws to the management of the empire's vast provinces. Participating in these meetings required not only knowledge but also skill in oratory and persuasion. Each debate was a battle of ideas, where senators tried to convince each other of the superiority of their proposals. Those who were most skilled in argumentation and persuasion often succeeded in influencing decisions in their favor, expanding their influence and power. These Senate meetings were therefore more than just simple gatherings for discussion, they were arenas where the future of Rome was played out. For a senator, success in these debates was crucial, as it could determine his position and reputation within the Senate. The ability to navigate these discussions and build consensus among his colleagues was one of the key competencies a senator needed to develop to succeed in Roman political life. Are you enjoying the content? Leave a comment with a topic you'd like to see covered in the next videos. Your opinion is very important to us. Control over the empire's finances was one of the most important and challenging responsibilities of the Roman Senate. Senators were tasked with deciding how Rome's vast treasury would be spent, from maintaining the legions to constructing great public works. This role as the guardian of the treasury was fundamental to ensuring that the empire remained strong and prosperous. Every financial decision required a delicate balance between the needs of the state and the expectations of the citizens. If the money was mismanaged, it could result in public discontent, economic crises, or even revolts. Therefore, senators deliberated extensively before allocating resources, trying to predict the impacts of each decision in the short and long term. Control over finances also gave the Senate significant influence over the emperor and the policies of the empire. By deciding where and how money would be spent, senators could shape the government's priorities and influence the course of imperial actions. This made financial power one of the most powerful tools in the hands of senators, allowing them to exercise significant control over the fate of Rome. For many Roman senators, especially younger ones, the relationship with a patron was essential for success in political life. The patron, usually an older and influential senator, acted as a mentor, providing financial support, strategic advice, and most importantly, connections that could open doors to future opportunities. This relationship was based on mutual loyalty. In return for the patron's support, the young senator committed to assisting him in his own political endeavors and maintaining loyalty throughout life. This alliance benefited both parties. The patron strengthened his own network of influence, while the protege received the support needed to build his career. This relationship was not temporary, it often lasted throughout the senator's life. Even after achieving political independence, the senator continued to support his patron, repaying the favors received. This dynamic of exchange and loyalty was a fundamental part of the Roman political system, where personal connections and strategic alliances could be as important as talent and political skill. Despite all the prestige and power that the position of senator offered, it also came with great risks. The greatest of these was the possibility of displeasing the emperor, the supreme ruler of Rome. In a political system where loyalty to the emperor was vital, a single mistake or a misinterpreted gesture could be disastrous. Senators knew that their position did not make them untouchable. If the emperor felt that a senator was conspiring against him, or even that he was not sufficiently loyal, he could order exile, the loss of property, or even execution. This constant risk caused many senators to live in a state of alert, carefully measuring every word and action to avoid falling out of favor. This tense environment made political life in Rome a true tightrope walk. The ability to navigate complex power relationships and maintain the emperor's favor was essential for the survival of any senator. Those who managed to balance power and loyalty thrived, while those who failed faced the consequences of a ruthless political system. For Roman senators, loyalty to the emperor was not just a virtue, it was a matter of survival. The emperor was the center of power in Rome, and his favor or displeasure could determine the fate of any individual. As a result, many senators chose to support imperial decisions unconditionally, even if they privately disagreed with them. This support often required a delicate game of diplomacy, where senators needed to show their alignment with the emperor without appearing overly submissive. Any sign of dissent could be interpreted as treason, placing the senator in grave danger. On the other hand, well-demonstrated loyalty could secure protection and favors, allowing the senator to continue his career without threats. The relationship between the emperor and the Senate was complex, with a mixture of cooperation and tension. For senators, the ability to read the emperor's intentions and respond appropriately was crucial. Those who mastered this art managed to navigate the intricate political landscape of Rome, staying safe while exerting their influence. When it came time to choose a new emperor, the Roman Senate found itself in a delicate position. Although they were formally tasked with ratifying the successor, in practice, military power and the support of the legions often determined who would ascend to the throne. Senators, aware of their vulnerable position, often accepted the successor chosen by the emperor or the army, even if they had personal reservations. This acceptance was a way to ensure their own political survival. Resisting the choice of the successor could put the Senate in direct confrontation with the new ruler, a risk few were willing to take. Thus, the senators opted for the safer course, ratifying the succession and ensuring their continuity within the political system. This submission, however, was not a sign of weakness but of pragmatism. The senators understood that in an empire as vast and powerful as Rome, stability depended on the continuity of government. By supporting the new emperor, they helped maintain order and avoid conflicts that could destabilize the empire. In the end, the ability to adapt to changes and support the imperial succession was essential for the Senate's survival as a central institution in Roman politics. The life of a Roman senator was a delicate balance between power and danger. While they carried the prestige and responsibility of shaping the empire's destiny, these men also lived under the constant shadow of intrigue and imperial control. Each day was a test of their ability to navigate the complex waters of Roman politics, where alliances needed to be carefully forged and maintained, and strategic decisions were essential for their survival. The Senate, with all its pomp and circumstance, was more than just a governing body, it was the battleground where reputations were built or destroyed. The toga they wore, the clients they served, and the decisions they made, all these composed the daily life of these powerful men who, while commanding the empire, also had to protect their own lives and positions. In the end, being a Roman senator meant living constantly on the edge, between success and failure, glory and exile. The legacy of these senators is a testament to the complexity and intensity of Roman politics, where the game of power was played with skill, often at a high personal cost. Even centuries later, their stories continue to fascinate and teach us about power, politics, and the human condition. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing more engaging and educational stories. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient Rome. Until next time.